Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you could click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Yes, kind of little flattered, some guy stopped me and started asking me questions about the Panther. How about that? Gas coming back down, surprising right before Christmas. Premium, $247. Oh boy, look at that Jaguar. That thing looks about as busted down as they do in Europe. Here they normally take good care of them. They treat them like cars that are luxury. Not that one. It's getting the beat down. I'm cleaning this cam cover. Didn't realize I hadn't done it already. Guess what I got here, peoples? My ScanGauge. Now, I shipped this out Monday. Wednesday, I got an email notification. That's probably Wednesday's date there, that this label was created. So I was expecting it to come in Friday, but no, it didn't come in Friday. It didn't come in Saturday. It actually arrived to the Master's Touch garage on Monday. So I'm not sure if they didn't give it to the post office until Friday, or if it took, 5 days to get here. Anyway, let's open it up, see what we got. They sent me another user manual and some kind of shipping thing. It says circuit board replacement, display replacement, damaged cable replacement, firmware upgrade to 4.5. I think I actually had 4.2 firmware. Circuit board replaced, display replaced, cable replaced, firmware flashed, and Tony did it all. So there I have it. I got my ScanGauge back. Should work better. Let's see how it goes. The cord is definitely new. Seems stiffer, and it's been replaced in my firmware because my colors are off. See how long it takes to connect. I just turned the key on. I didn't even start the car. So I'll go through the setup screen and run it down to my head gasket job, because I need to get out of here, man. I didn't know it was this late. I need to go get that done. Total fuel, $2.78. Heck, the price of the fuel probably ain't even right. Let me get this back on and set up the price of the fuel. More fill up. Nope. Fuel cost is too high. I think I paid $2.48 or something like that. That would bring that cost down a little bit. Man, the buttons are real easy to push now. Awesome. Let's say $2.50. Alright. Gauge. We'll see what it costs to get home. Working great. Cam cover all washed and cleaned up. I'm going to try to get a little bit more of this sealant residue off. Not going to spend no time. I'm surprised these pockets came so clean. All of them look like this small space down here, but they cleaned up pretty good. Remember, these cam covers are machined to the head, so you can't swap these over from one head to another. Let me go ahead and finish cleaning this up. Put my assembly grease and set the cams in place and get this thing screwed down. A screwdriver through all of the lubrication journal holes and make sure those are clear. Do the same on the head and wipe this down with some acetone. So these are little holes that go down to the lifters, I check those before I put the lifters in, make sure those are all cleaned out. Man, I got some dirt in there, probably off those towels. I'll wipe those out, wipe this down with acetone, put my lubrication assembly grease. I'll put a little dab on each lifter, and then I'm going to put some on each journal. So, let me finish cleaning this out. Alright, I look down at my timing mark. It is right on the spot. So, I can set these cams in place, twist them around 360 degrees. I'm going to try to set them close to end time, and then I'm going to put the locking tool on, then I'm going to put the cover on. So let me go ahead and take my assembly lube, put it on all my lifters, on my journals, give that one more quick wipe down with acetone, then get my cam cover cleaned off one more time and put the anaerobic sealant on it. Got my little spark plug well O-rings here. I actually put a cam cover on before one time. I forgot to install these. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit nervous about using anything aftermarket. On a job this big, it's best to go with the best you know. I have the exhaust cam in place, timing as close as it can be. I'm going to put some assembly lube on those journal areas, and that cam seal, of course, Volvo cam seal. Man, they last 20 years. Why not go with them, as long as you keep the PCV good. So let me go ahead and put some assembly lube on these. I'm going to put the other side, this side, I guess this is the front, the rear cam seals on with my tool, because I'm going to put the cam locking tool on here in a minute. Just a little cheat with these cams. The exhaust cam, the 3 bolts make a triangle that point up. The intake cam, the 3 bolts make a triangle that point down. I'm covered down with acetone. Got that thing as clean as I can get it. I took my roller out of the Ziploc bag, and I should have enough here to do this one. I have a couple of these. Normally one of these will do 2 covers, so I've done this before. Let's see if I can get this covered up and get this started. That squirrels out. I'm going to see if that'll cover this cover. Just really painting this stuff on. The cover will almost seal itself. This just helps it a little bit, so it don't need to be too thick. Definitely don't want to clog up these little channels along here and up there at the front of the head. I want dirt-free coverage. I see a little speck of dirt there. Another speck of dirt there. Looks like I have enough on the whole cover. However, the cover, it's a little cold out here, so it was going on thicker than I wanted it to, so I had to keep spreading. I think I'm good to go. I'm going to flip this over, set it down on top of the cams. Double check, make sure I got my well seals in place and they haven't come out of their tracks. I did put assembly grease on the cams. I'm ready to set this down and start screwing it down. I got it in place. As you can see, the pins are lined up. I think these cam locking tools is holding it up a little bit, but let's see if we can get these screws to start pulling it down. So I'm going to be careful and get going. I have all the screws in place. Those 2 are to the water pipe and the front of the inner timing belt cover. Let me go ahead and get these all started, snug them down, and walk this down on top of the cams. Across the head, went till it made contact, then did a 1/4 of a turn, and now I go back to the middle. As you can see, I got slack again. So I do that, snug down, 1/4 of a turn. In the pattern that you're supposed to. From the outside, from the inside, working your way out. Let me cross this again. You don't want to use no kind of power tool, because if you strip any of these screw holes out, you're going to have a leak. It's got all these screws in here for a reason. So let me get another pass on this and get to where I can get ready to torque them. And you don't have to be in a hurry, because that anaerobic sealant will not dry until you suffocate it by putting this cam cover together. And you don't put no sealant on the head, you only put the sealant on one surface to cover. I got a call recently wanting to know if they had to put it on the cover and the head. Well, I'll show you what you got to do. If you don't see it, you don't have to do it. I have the cam cover torqued down. As you can see, very little anaerobic sealant out of the edges, almost none. If you can get everything on here and crank this engine in 5 minutes, you can do so. You don't have to wait for no drying or curing time on this cam cover. So I'm going to go ahead and install my exhaust manifold bolts, put my PCV on, install my intake manifold, then put the cam seals in the back, oil them up, get this old timing belt off, put the new timing belt on, and hopefully within an hour have this thing back together. I put the belt on. I didn't tighten that 12 down there yet. I don't think that's tight. I need to loosen that and snug it back up, because I got the arm too far over. But when you got the cam locking tool on in the back, you get this belt on. There was slack between the cams, so I actually loosened those bolts, twisted this just a little bit. It's about 1/4 of a tooth off. Tighten the bolts back down 1/4 of a tooth. If you didn't have any marks here, you can put the cover on there and make your own marks. So, you know, you don't have to use the marks if you got the cam locking tool, but, you know, it's an assistant for when people don't. So, I'm going to snug that 12mm down there, roll this engine over a couple times, check the timing. Then I'm going to put the seals in the back and put the hardware on the back. I'm on the crank 2 full revolutions. As you can see, my tensioner is dead on. Probably a little tighter than it should be, because it should be probably pointing toward the pin on the back, because the temperature out here is in the 50s. My belt does seem tight here, tight there. So I'm going to loosen that up just a little bit. I don't want all that tension on all these parts. And then I'm going to put everything together, start the engine, let it run 2 minutes. Then I'm going to check the tension again, see where it is after I roll it around. So right now it's a little tighter than I want it to be. Ready to install my rear cam seals. I got the seal on the tool. Get it over there, press it on there, turn it a little bit. Let me push that in with 2 hands and pull it off. Those seals are really tight going in. I actually typed the tool in with my hammer real gently until I felt it make contact and stop. Let me go ahead and put the stuff on the back of this, close this up, put this 14mm in there. These are keyed. The key fell in with the notch pointing that way, and the key fell in that one with the half moon toward the ground. CV stuff in place, the tube coming around, ready to hit up with the intake tube. I got both screws in the cam sensor, not like I did mine. I got this ready for the spark plug stuff to go on. We find this rod, put this rod through here, tighten that up, and then put this intake manifold on. When putting this newer tube around for the PCV system, the piece of the tube that came out and curved up, I had to actually break that off. I tried to straighten it out, it cracked, broke off. That's perfect, but it won't install right with the curve in it. Now I got the tube wrapped around to the intake manifold, and now I'm ready to bolt the intake manifold down, and it is a Volvo intake manifold. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.